Hello, I'm going to show you today how you can use the Payable Forms add-on for Google Forms to set up a store for something like a secondhand clothing store. So I've got my form all set up. We can make tweaks as we work through this. There's no need to have it perfect to start, but I've put in some rough things, some of the items I'm going to sell. I've got some things like this offer we're doing for the service for a personal shopper. And then we have shipping. So it's just pretty fundamental form for this idea of a second-hand store. You'll note that I've used this format of this dash and then the dollar sign for my currency. And that's going to be how this Payable Forms add-on works. But there's going to be lots of help along the way. So let's get started by going over to these three dotted lines on the top right. And we're going to go to Get Add-ons. We're going to type in Payable Forms. We're going to go in and we're going to install that. Now that we have it installed, we've got this nice little pop-up on the bottom right of our form. And we can also access this from the puzzle piece on the top right as well. So we just really click through these items. It's really fairly straightforward once you get that add-on installed. There's a few things that it's going to do when we do this auto configure, things like setting up the sheet it's configured to, making sure that you're accepting emails, couple different things. So just some things in the background to make sure that this checkout and all this data collection is going to work. We can add this sample payments section, which I'll do here just so you can see what that looks like. This is going to mess up my form a little bit, but if you're new to using Payable Forms, what this does is it gives you some ideas where you can see how the formatting works for different sections. So you can see this subscriptions are possible, if you're going to do personal training, or maybe in our example, maybe we're getting like a t-shirt of the month or something. So that could work for our business idea here. We can also do check boxes where you're adding things like maybe shipping or insurance or different things like that. We can do drop down menus. Again, this dash and then the dollar sign is pretty key. And then one that I'll just leave here is that you can put it in the title and then sort of leave so this works really well for donations, this format. So that sample payment section could be easy. If you do that by accident and you don't want it, you can just delete that added section. Not a big deal, but now you've seen it. Then we're going to sync the theme with the checkout. So this is, if I had done a little bit more and added some pictures and maybe some colors for my store, maybe there's like a banner across the top, which we can do in here. Then it's going to sync that really nicely. And then the last big step is to get that payment provider. So this is Square, Stripe, PayPal, some of these international options. You take your pick, and so will I, and then we'll come back in a second after we've put in those passwords and linked those accounts. Okay, I'm all connected, and I hope you are as well. All we have to do then, after we've connected that account, is make this form payable. So we'll let that click over, and that's going to add that checkout option that's going to pop up on the confirmation. Once our users fill out the form, then we'll see that and how that works here in a second. So the key here is that we're in testing mode, on for practice, where this is fake money, where we can just use that form. We could fill it out ourselves or send it to a friend to get them to check it out and make sure that it makes sense to them. If we click the eye at the top right, then we can see this sample. This is what our customers are going to see. So if we go test and we enter some test emails, it doesn't have to be, it's all going to just go to your email account anyhow as the owner. Let's pretend we're going to get our white sweater. We're going to pay for just the shipping for that. Then we're going to go through. This is that confirmation page. We'll go check out what the checkout looks like. And here we go. $35. It's got that shipping. It's got the item that we put. The user or the names of those products, those titles of each section or each question, if you will, those are sort of important so that your checkout, your receipt makes sense. And then here you can definitely fill out these fake practice card numbers if you want to see what the checkout looks like before you use an actual card or before your customers do, but you don't have to. So that's what that checkout, this is really what that Payable add-on does with your Google form. It really makes it quite powerful, quite a flexible solution. So if I'm happy with that, then I can share it. I can grab that link and really share that to my customers. The one thing you want to do though before you share it is you want to just flip that over to real money. Green means go, and then you should be good to go. One last tip. is I like to add under notifications on the sidebar to add those 24-hour notifications. This is almost like an abandoned cart. So especially in this clothing situation where someone might get confused and not click the link, or people will shop and then leave the cart to think about it. So having that, abandoned cart or 24-hour reminder is really handy where someone might finish and actually check out versus just fill in their cart. So there you have it. That's the Payable Forms add-on for Google Forms, setting up a secondhand clothing store.